Okay? So, first of all, let me say I went out to the E-Tech solution yesterday, and it was pretty fun. I got to stand in the booth and talk to a bunch of folks about, Google Apps and different things like that. And it was the first time I've been a vendor, and I realized that a lot more vendors knew who I was, and so they're always trying to sell you stuff, right? But what they might not realize is I already have a lot of these. So this, if you don't know what this is a IPEVO document camera, right? A lot of you have this. This is their newest model, and it has a better resolution, and it also has a microphone built into it. So the neat thing about this is you can actually do math applications, which is actually what I'm going to demonstrate up here as well today. Any type of screen recording this does, and it works on your Chromebook, as well as your old IPEVO document camera. It also works on your Chromebook. Anyway, the guy's name is Alex that I spoke to. He gave me 4 of these to give away. So that's awesome. What he doesn't realize is I'm pretty much going to buy anyone that wants one who asks. So the other thing I want to try and give away is actual webcams. Some of you have seen them on different folks' desktops. They stick right on the top of the computer. They're higher resolution, but you have a webcam built right into your Chromebook. Okay, so you can do everything that I'm going to show you today with that webcam, but if you want a higher resolution one, I can give you one of those as well. The same with a presenter, right? Those wireless presenters, some of you have those. I've given away those in the past to click through applications. When you're co-teaching with yourself, which is what I'll show you my example of it today, it will allow you to walk around, hit pause, and go more in depth with what you're showing. So it's just a nice solution. So any one of those options, if you want one, I have an evaluation tool at the end that asks you which one you want, and I'll get you one. Okay? All right, so if you haven't already, go to the document. The link is on that. Agenda page. But if you want to hold on a second, we're actually going to go into Google Classroom, and I'm going to turn this into a Google Classroom. So if you'd rather go to Google Classroom, let's do that, because the first thing I'm going to do is create a Google Classroom so you can join it. So just to show you, if none of you are using Google Classroom, how easy this is, I'm going to cheat and copy my title here. And I want to actually create a new Google Classroom. So this is something I'm doing. You're going to join mine. I'm going to go to Create, and it says Create Class. And we'll call this Section 1. Actually, this is the 10 o'clock section, right?
You want me to turn on?
You hear me turn that front light?
I'll go for it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so it says, welcome to my classroom. I'm going to go ahead and invite you guys into my class. If you would, go to classroom.com, and this code is 8, lowercase j, t, r, z, u, a. I'll go back to the stream and I'll show the code as well. HJTRZUA. How many of you have actually used Google Classroom? Yeah, good about half. So in less than a minute, I set something like this up. This is the hub for everything that I'm doing today. Okay, it's very easy to set up and join, have your students, just one collected space for them to pass out assignments, different things like that. Yes?
It's all of us, not just me.
It's all of you.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and classroom.com is not a thing. You want to go to classroom.com.
Oh.
Classroom.google.com. Okay? Once you go to classroom.google.com, up at the top it says join. Let me scroll down again. It says join, and the code to join is 8JTRZUA. A. It's a different code each time. Up at the top, there's a plus.
See where the plus is?
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, there's a plus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've never joined a class, maybe you've created them before. Welcome to joining a class, right? Very easy to do. And again, this is just one way for me to join all of you guys together, one big class, get my resources. Okay? Anybody need help connecting? Is everybody there? Yep? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is send out this document, if you don't already have it. Copy it. I'm going to just do an announcement. And here's the doc. Should be recent. Just allow myself to introduce myself. And session info. All right, I'm going to post this to
I'm so sorry.
just that. Hey. It's a good idea. Mine will probably go off too, so I'm going to put mine outside. All right, so all of you should have that document. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the document. So first of all, how many of you have heard of the concept of the flipped classroom before? Okay. If you haven't, all it really is recording yourself on a video or recording something on a video, sharing that with students and allowing them to go back and review it. Okay? There are some different variations on the concept. You can create an assessment right afterwards to verify that they actually took it, or you can show it off in the classroom and do what I'm going to call co-teaching with, right? So it's actually you explaining a concept in class, and you're walking around and you're still monitoring, you're looking, you're engaging with your students while you're also talking up at the front of the room, right? You might say, well, this is kind of lazy, right? I'm just recording my videos and playing this. It's not a session that's 45 minutes long and you just do it once and you get the same message across. That's pretty boring, right? You don't want to do that. Plus, there are limitations to this, mainly with attention spans of students, right? If they watched a 45-minute video of you talking, probably not going to go over well, right? So you want to keep this to about 5-10 minutes max, okay? This is going to allow you to hit pause during that video and go in depth to re-explain, continue the education process, differentiate as needed, right? So it's a really neat solution. Okay, so now that we've joined our classroom, the first thing I'm going to show you is MoveNote, which I'm going to do an example, show you an example of somebody's MoveNote in my Gmail. Mrs. Hayden is not here today, and so for her to make up her responsibility for missing this session, I sat down with her and made her do one of these sessions to introduce a activity she was doing in her classroom. So I want to go to my starred options. And so what she did, the presentation is called Geocaching with MoveNote. So I'll show you the big picture first. This is what she did. And I'm going to just add this as a announcement. But I want to show you what it is first, okay? So she has a presentation that explains, she went blonde too, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but she's pretty excited about it. So anyway, what this is she has a Google presentation, right? She could have a PowerPoint, she could have a PDF, something, right? Anything she wants to post up there, a bunch of images. Then she turned on her webcam, right? She won a webcam last year for helping out with Google last Labor Day. Right, so she and a handful of staff members already have webcams on their either desktops or off their Google Classroom. So what it is you're going to load up a Google presentation, whatever set of materials, and then you're going to record with the webcam at the same time. Okay, so this allows you to click through the presentation and record yourself at the same time. How Jackie and I used this originally was in our classrooms. We made our kids. How many of you have had presentations where the kids have to stand up and do their speech? Well, if they have Chromebooks now, Chromebooks have webcams, you can allow them to record themselves practicing. Practice makes perfect. So what we're going to do, or what we allowed them to do, is record this several times and then submit the link to us for review. One, we didn't have to watch every student stand up and do that, but there was an extra credit option if you want to stand up in the front of the class and do it. Really sped things up, but I'm going to show you Jackie's clip. It's 2 minutes long. It just explains how she's going to do a geocaching project for the school. So,
Good evening. Please watch the following presentation to help you for tomorrow's assignment. Tomorrow in class, we will be using geocaching, a popular scavenger hunt that latitude and longitude to find items around the building. Please follow along with these instructions as I go through them.
plus, make it bigger.
You and your group are going to be geocaching around the building to find 5 items, geographical markers that are within the building. They are going to be pieces of paper that look like Google marker icons. You will each be getting 4 maps, and each map is a grid of our building that has latitude and longitude coordinates plotted out for you. Using the first set of coordinates, you will set off to find your geo marker. To prove you have found the treasure, make sure that you get a group selfie with the marker, as you
Not a
can see
fan of the
here
selfie, but I
on
got
the
roped
slide.
into it, mainly because we carpooled, she
Once
drove
you
that
have
day.
found
so
your
it was
treasure, you
all
will
new.
receive the next set of coordinates on the back of the marker. Upon finding all 5 of your geographical markers, you will then go back to the classroom and you will use your maps of the building and the PowerPoint that will be provided for you on Google Classroom to mark each location using the latitude and longitude on your own map. Make sure that you correctly label each of your icons by putting the latitude and the longitude as well as who or what was in the picture in the color-coded box. You can see here, this is what your PowerPoint will look like on Google Classroom. It's very easy to drag and drop your Google marker here onto the location on the map. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
She also sent me an email and said, don't look at the weird thing I did with my mouth on the very end. So we're going to back it up a second and look at the weird thing that she did with her mouth. Right. Oh, can we do that? Yep, we can advance there.
You can see here, this is what your PowerPoint will look like on Google Classroom. It's very easy to drag and drop your Google marker here onto the location on the map. If you have any questions, please don't
Just so you
hesitate
can see
to
the weird
ask.
thing. Yep. Apparently that's a weird thing. But why I'm pointing that out is MoveNote is a one-shot deal, okay? You open it up, and we're all going to try this here in a minute. You open it up, you drag your content into the window to start, going through your presentation, and then you hit record. There's no going back and trimming a little bit or editing a little bit. It's one shot, right? You hit record. You can hit pause and go through and do that and say, if somebody comes in and knocks and you're 20 minutes into a presentation, hopefully not 20 minutes, 3-4 minutes into it, you can hit pause. That's okay, but you can't go back and delete. So again, it's very simple. So what Jackie did was then she posted this link, or she will post this link to her class. Her kids will be able to see it in their Google Classroom. They'll be able to look at it on their phone, do whatever they want. So she's sort of front-loading the activity, right? Just in case anybody is missing that day. So how did she do it? Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to jump back to, please allow me to introduce myself. And as we go along here, I'm just going to talk and hit all these strategies that I've recorded, because these are different recommendations off of various websites and my own experience with this type of stuff. So first of all, there's a button right here. It says, add it to your Google account. If you click on this link, it's going to take you to the Google Chrome store, and it's going to say MoveNote for Education. So if your button up at the top is green and it says visit the website, that means you've already added it. If it says add it, then that means you have not added the link. And you want to go ahead and add it. Okay?
They do through the drive, too.
Yep, add to your Google Drive. Yep. So as soon as I click add or go to it, it says Move Note needs your permission. So you can follow along with me, or you can just watch, okay? But my hope is that we're going to practice. We're going to create one quick video and upload it and turn it in as an assignment here on Google Classroom so you can see how this works. It'll take just a few minutes. It's not that difficult. But what I want to show you is right here. And this is the creepy factor that it's frustrating because we have to announce this, but I'm glad we have to announce this because it lets people know that I can't just turn on the webcam, that nobody can turn on the webcam on a Chromebook, that you actually have to click allow. There are so many built-in safety factors that prevent this. So what happens is it says, Move Note needs your permission to use the camera. And 9 times out of 10, if your camera's not working, for a student or for you, this step was missed. Okay, and I know it's kind of a weird, tiny little button, but you have to click allow. And then as soon as you click allow, another message pops up at the top, and it says, use your camera and microphone to allow. So there's 2 built-in safety factors that say allow this.
I have a quick question for you.
Yes?
If we added this before through our Drive, as a Drive app, and now it's saying add it to Google Chrome, should we add it to Chrome? That way it just continues.
Almost, that's a good question. There are a couple different ways to add this. Almost every time you open up the application, it asks you if it's okay to do this. So it's one of those built-in safety things the kids are going to have to do on every Chromebook every time.
So
All right?
if we add it through the Drive, we can just keep it there. We don't have to pull an extension, like add it to Chrome.
Right, you don't have to. If anything, I would just bookmark this website and go back to it, okay? Now, for me, it asked me to create an account the first time I logged in, right? So it just said authenticate through Google, and it used my Mechanicsburg Google account. All right, so that's what it did. It probably asked you the same thing, and then it just created a quick account for you. Or if you've used this in the past, it brought it up, okay? So what's neat about this with Move Note is it's going to ask you what camera to use. And we'll see if it switches cameras. Okay, on mine it's not doing it. But that's probably because there's a limitation with this, if I'm presenting with VGA, it kicks out the ability to use USB. So what you can actually do is switch between your Ziggy document camera or your the integrated webcam. I'm going to go ahead and use my integrated webcam because as you saw when Jackie did her recording, it was up here in the corner and it was kind of small, right? So this is more of a presentation tool where you just want to present and get the information out there. Now the other thing I want you to notice is you see the green equalizer going across on the side? That's my audio. All right, so every time I'm speaking, that's skyrocketing. I'm talking pretty loud now, which is why that's hitting the top. If you're Hirschberger, it doesn't go down. It's a solid green constantly. So anyway, because we had to test with him and we didn't know it was his audio solid green, so yeah, just very loud. All right, so anyway, you might want to be, practice with that. Just find a good speaking volume and go with that. Anyway, that's the other thing is you want to make sure that you are recording volume. That's one of my safety checks is make sure that that's working. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit next.
Was there nothing we needed to do when it said Chrome still needs to be convinced, please click allow in the info bar?
Right, that's just a screen capture up there. As long as, as long as you clicked allow up at the top when you saw that pop down, you should be good. So now does everybody, with the exception of Forrest, see video? Or Forrest and Marsh? Yep, all right. Yep, so for this, you just have to click that little allow button and then allow, and then and again, just gotta do that. Yep. Does everybody see that? And again, that's a security, it's a security
Oh, we have to
feature.
click in that little
Yeah,
thing.
you have
I
to
see.
click that
Okay.
tiny little allow.
Oh,
It's
it looks
silly.
like it's just a picture.
It does,
Okay.
but again, that's something that Google says, hey, you gotta do it, okay? And that's something you're gonna have to instruct your kids every time.
I know, that's why I'm like.
Wait, if I click, I can probably click.
Okay, so, for the majority of you who probably don't want your face recorded, Move Note now allows the option right up here in the corner. See that button? It says disable the camera. If you go ahead and click that, it's going to disable the camera, but still record the audio. Okay? So maybe that's what you want in your solution.
Yes.
That's also helpful too, because the more you practice this, and this is what I'm going to encourage, is that if you have a presentation that you're doing, script it out, tape it to your monitor, and then stare at your webcam, right? Because as we're going on the fly, it doesn't always work. We pause, we say, all that stuff, everything that I'm doing now, right? So what you want to do is, if you turn off your webcam, you can actually click, and it's you're a lot more focused because you're clicking and you're staring at the screen, and you don't have to worry about looking at the webcam, okay? So this is just one way to do it. So I'm recording a presentation and my audio at the same time. All right? So now it says add slides. What I want to do is I'm going to create real quick in my Google Classroom a presentation for you to fill out. It's going to be 2 slides. You just have to type your name and then one thing in the other slide. So I'm going to jump back to Google Classroom. I'm going to say new, and I'm going to create a Google slide template real quick. So just to show you how easy this is, I'm going to call it an About Me presentation. And you guys don't have to do anything yet. And we'll choose orange. Forrest hates orange. And we'll say About Me. And then I'm going to insert a second slide. And we'll say favorite food. Yes, any. Okay, so all of a sudden About Me presentation. Okay, so here's my About Me presentation. I want to share this out with everybody, and I want everybody to fill this out. So the easiest way for me to do that inside Google Classroom is to hit this plus, and then now I'm going to assign an assignment. Let's click Assignment, and we'll call it About Me. And I'm going to go to my Drive, and again, I just created that document that I want you to fill out. It's called About Me. I'm going to select About Me, and then right down here, this is where the magic happens. Plus a few times. This button right here says make a copy for each student. So how many times have you shared something out with students? They have to rename it and share it back, and different thing. That whole process, this is cut in half by time-wise, because the frustration out of everything. So I'm going to say make a copy for everybody, and then hit assign. So within a couple of seconds, everybody who joined my Google Classroom is going to be issued this About Me presentation. And all you have to do is fill it out real quick. So I can see 14 people have signed it out. I've done it. And all I want you to do is open it up, type your name in there, click on the next slide, and then I want you to type in your favorite food. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back into Move Note, right here, and where it says Add Slides, there's a Google Drive button right there. You're going to choose this application in Google Drive. So you can see, I can see everybody's About Me presentation. I didn't have to go through and create 100 different presentations and share them out. I clicked one button and it was done. So right now, take a minute, just type in your name on the next slide, your favorite food, and then when you're ready, jump into Move Note. Now, this is probably not the right environment to record a presentation, right? Everybody is going to be talking at the same time. So when we've done this with the kids, Jackie and I have done this with the kids, they sort of went off into little groups to the corners. Sometimes they went out in the hallways. They found a quiet place. They didn't all do it at the same time, right? But it was very interesting to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it as well. I'm going to make a copy for me. my copy, I'm gonna say about me. And my favorite food has to be the donut hamburger that I tried at this aquarium place in Cincinnati. Holy crap. No, it was grilled cheese donut. That's what it is. Oh, man. I'm sure it was super healthy. The grilled cheese donut. Right? So I've got my presentation. It's done. So how do you save it? In Google Drive, there's no save button, it just automatically saves. Okay? So now I'm in, that took me 2 seconds, I'm in Google Drive. Okay, I went over and I clicked on Google Drive, and I should have my About Me presentation in here somewhere, right? So I'm going to go ahead and double click on it, and it's going to take a second because it's importing the presentation. So one of the cons to using this solution is if you have animations in your presentation, it strips those right out. It just takes screen captures of your presentation and throws it in there. So that means you can't have a video, you can't have animation, you can't have anything like that in there. This is just a flat picture, next step, okay? And for me, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my audio, or my video, and I'm going to do my About Me presentation right now. So if you haven't done it yet, let me show you how it works one time. Okay, I already recorded my information. Right up here at the top, I can scroll through my slide. I can also use my arrow key. So here's a pro tip. What I typically do is, as I'm introducing this assignment, I put my right hand down on my arrow key, and I just arrow back and forth. That way I don't have to look down at the keyboard and go next slide, or move the mouse and click the next slide. I can do it in one fluid motion, right? So here we go. I click record, it says 3, 2, 1. Hi, my name's Eric Griffith, and my favorite food is the grilled cheese donut. I had it at an aquarium one time, threw up a whole lot afterwards, but it was still delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the red button again, and it has paused my recording. My recording is only 12 seconds long. I can hit pause again and keep going, or I can hit start over. That was awful, right? I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Okay? So depending on how long your video is, it has to be uploaded to their video server, converted into a format, and then sent back. So mine was 12 seconds long. It might take a minute, half a minute, okay? And so here's my presentation. It says About Me, and then I might have turned off the video, but we'll see how this works here. So I can hit play. Yep.
Hi, my name's Eric Griffith, and my favorite food is the grilled cheese donut. I had it at an aquarium one time, threw up a whole lot afterwards, but it was still delicious.
Yep. So anyway.
So, I'm gonna...
So what we had is, now, once our kids have done this, they can go down here and click on this copy button. So all they have to do is go back into their presentation, and for you guys, it says return your assignment. You can, your Google presentation is already turned in, right? You just have to hit the turn in button. But right down here, you can paste a link to your MoveNote session too, and then turn it in. So for your kids, this is sort of an introductory class to how to do presenting or something like that. So it's a bit of a process, and again, you can go back and watch this video on how to do it, but this is how it gets started, right? So it sees one person had it done. I don't know that you turned in the MoveNote thing, but does anybody want to see that MoveNote process again? Nope? All right, you guys can go ahead and try your MoveNote real quick here. I'll be quiet.
Because then you're gonna be in my video and God only knows what you're gonna do.
No, I mean, turn that around, like, set it on the computer and just have that behind. Then you have to write all your settings. I'm sorry, I was talking the whole time we were recording. That's why I was talking to her.
She doesn't care.
Don't redo it.
I know this. That's why I wanted to hold it.
It's on the floor.
What's that?
I said you want to check her.
Cynthia wants to get rid of my double check.
Do I?
I don't know.
Okay, there was a comment on the double chin. This is a pro tip, right?
Cynthia knows the trick.
I too have this issue. So here's my solution. I bought one of these. I do a lot of presentations. I think it was $40. It was $28. The higher your webcam is, like pointing down at you, the more slender your face looks.
Oh, that's old news.
I'm
Oprah
just
taught
saying.
us that 10 years ago.
Pro tip, just saying, right?
Double chin and a bald spot.
So if you would like, not so much a stand like this, but if you prop your stuff up, you know, a little higher, you've already got the built-in webcam there. If you would like a keyboard and a mouse to use while you record, because you can plug in an external keyboard and mouse to this, and then click through it. We can give you one. We got plenty of that stuff.
Or you can write version of the board.
What's that?
Nothing like the
I'm sorry.
I said Kirk can have his from the ceiling.
Yeah. Aerial view. Kurt just lay on the floor. So,
I'm just focusing on. So you can actually get your after working for you.
How am I supposed to talk about this? How did that not go big here?
all right, I'll give you another.
Eric, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I import my slides, it's still.
It's always a good idea. Tips.
My favorite food?
Oh, you imported it twice.
I'm trying to like, how, I mean, how do I go read like these two?
You read it from there. There's a slide button.
French fries? She's good on everything that's bad. I don't know.
You know what these are, right? That's what he said.
Really good idea. Yeah, and this time this is the blue one.
Okay. I didn't think I did twice. I don't know when I was talking.
Are there 4 slides in your presentation?
Yeah.
Get it? Okay.
There's just 2 slides.
Go.
Actual move down if you wanted to see.
Oh,
Because that just opens the slide in the comments, you said, send the link, right?
yeah, so where's your,
It was back in the classroom in the comments.
oh, I see. So for you, you want to have your kids,
Where did it go?
Yeah, see, that's where
That's high.
I made it, it's just not in my drive. My name is
Hi, my name's Eric Griffith, and my favorite food is the
Okay.
I put it in the comments.
I don't remember where was the
I don't think that's it.
so the question is, where are we supposed to put it? If you go back to that assignment,
But it's basically telling you.
right, you go back to your Google Classroom, okay? And so back to there's assignment, there's something that says turn in, you can actually post where it says add a comment, just hit paste, and that pastes that link right in there.
I record on which one.
You know, I should be able to see.
What do you do?
This simplifies it. It's like textual evidence determined at the end or central idea to see the or analyze.
I only went with purple.
Just because I can.
Oh, there you go. I went back to student work done, that stuff.
still deleted the slide.
I clicked too soon.
Oh, did see that? No,
There's the move note link right there.
I just saw the bullet points.
Hey, Eric, if Michelle clicked out of her, she didn't do her move note before. She forgot to hit the link.
The slides are showing.
Just go ahead and click on it, and click play.
Why did you show the
And when you do that, it's gonna,
No, she just sent me the 7th grade page, and I
So what
found the 8th
What
grade
if, what if
page.
I did it?
Yeah.
so the question is, what if you did, you don't like it, and you want to delete it? Right up here, it says archive, you gotta go back to move note, okay? And this should be every one of the presentations that you've done. You can say, I don't like that, I can click options and say delete this move note.
Have we done this?
Okay.
Have we done it?
For some reason, it said I no longer had permission to access that, so it took it off of
I enjoyed that.
slide.
Sounded like Silent of the Lambs. Silent of the Lambs, I don't know.
Did you see my face?
No, I wasn't, I just heard.
Okay, how do I just turn this? Is that
But when I did,
Yeah.
it stopped giving me access
Start
to
over?
the slide.
You know what it is?
Because you created
Yeah, exactly. Maybe say, you don't want to use this anymore. It's kind of a bummer.
I think they share it once you turn it in.
Delete
No,
this
I
move
know,
note.
that's where I want to.
Okay.
I mean, I have to make copies. I like paper.
Right, I got it, there we go.
Yes.
Hello, I'm
Go to the gear. Yep.
and my favorite food is Sunday with.
Woo!
All right, I'm gonna mute this.
The Marty Golden.
Right in your face. Oh my God.
Can we watch hers?
Yeah,
She's serious.
but she was.
Sunday.
No, and then I've got this nice little chart.
A nice pile of
Says
CNs.
what's for
Do that. Wow.
an IUP.
All right.
When they do
Okay. So if that works for you, you go back to done, and then you move
then I
on.
have this little chart.
Okay?
You should check
I
on
didn't see it.
I wonder why the signs in there are fine.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't see, I don't understand the first one.
Yeah.
It no longer gave me access, and then it didn't show when you tried to play it up there. The slides didn't go over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I no longer have access to it because I have it open. As soon as I close it, and then go back to Google Classroom, and for yours, I return
One
it.
sheet of lesson, like, say, well, wait, then.
The thing is, when you played it, it didn't
You know what
show
I
on
mean?
slides. When I started, the slides before, it showed report A.
All I have to do is return it, which there's a return button down at the bottom. But anyway, so let me jump to the next one. Okay, this next solution here. So I'm going to go ahead and close Move Note and show you the next solution. Okay, now this one's just a little bit more difficult, but just to review the things about Move Note, it was very easy to use. Okay, this is just a couple of clicks. Anybody can do this. It uses an existing materials that you have. It does strip, the cons though, it does strip any animations or videos that you have in there out. Okay, so that's going to be difficult if you have a video from Khan Academy and you want to talk about it while it's being played. It doesn't do that. You can't adjust the size of the video either. It's just tiny enough in the corner. Okay? On a mobile device, if kids are looking at on their mobile device, it's only going to show your video. So what I think the alternative to this is you want to turn off your webcam and just record it where there's just audio. And that will show your presentation as you click through it. Okay? So the next one is called Screencastify, and this is something that Wally didn't show us this on the Waiver Day deal. The one she showed was Snagit, which is also a very nice solution. But same concept here. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how this one works. This is a little more advanced. You can record with either your IPEVO DocCam or the integrated webcam in your Chromebook. This records anything. This will record what's on your desktop. So if you have a piece of software running on the desktop and you want to record that, it actually asks you what you want me to record. This active window, your desktop, what you want me to record. It saves the file directly to Google Drive and then gives you a link so that you can share it with everybody. So there's not the process of uploading it to Google Drive, sharing that, it just happens automatically with your Google account. The downside, the cons, is we're using the free version right now. If this explodes and everybody wants to use it, I'll go ahead and buy the district the actual version. It's only a couple $100s a year. But the limited version gives you a little watermark up in the corner that says Screencastify. Okay? It also limits you to 10 minutes of video. Okay, which that's fine because that's past our point of attention span retention anyway. And it can be confusing if you're managing multiple windows, right? So let me show you how this works. And again, I have a YouTube tutorial that shows you how to do this. I'll link to the website and then the link for you to add it right to your account. Okay, so I've already got it installed on mine. And let's say I just wanted to show everybody how to use this session, or how to use my Google Classroom. Okay, so when it installs, there's this little link right up here at the top. It says Screencastify, screen video recording. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. And it gives me some options. The first time when I install this, it runs me through a setup. It says which camera do you want to use, make sure your audio is working. I've already done that. So it gives me 3 different options. It says, what do you want to record? A tab, which is a tabbed window at the top, right? So if you have a bunch of tabs open and you don't want the kids to see those other tabs, you just want to record that tab, it's just going to record that window for you, okay? Your full desktop, so that's going to record everything that's on your desktop, okay? It's going to let them know what time you were doing it, because it's going to grab that little time bar down at the bottom, right down there. Or you can do the cam. So this is the one I like the most, because if I want to show somebody how to do something on their phone, their tablet, something like that, I can show with the camera. Okay, so all I did was plug in my iPivo Ziggy right into my Chromebook, and I can do this on my desktop or my Chromebook, and then it says, which camera would you like to use? Well, automatically it registers as the integrated webcam, and it gives some weird number, okay? That's the webcam that's built in my Chromebook. Or the iPivo Ziggy HD Plus. So I'm going to say I want to use that one. Okay? So up here it says record using the default mic. I'm going to do that. Now this iPivo has a mic built in, but so does your Chromebook. So even if you have one of the older model document cameras, you can still record audio. Okay? So let's watch how this works. I'm going to hit start recording. And I'm going to move this over to here. And I could go ahead and show off, let's say how to use my phone or something like this. I'll show off, various messages, different things, whatever I want to show off on the screen. And then when I'm done, I have the ability to hit pause or stop. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And as soon as I hit stop, it starts to upload the video and then it takes me right to that application. And so it's a little jerky because I'm here, and I can go ahead and show off. It's a little jerky because I have a lot of stuff open. Jerky, yeah. Okay, but the deal is now I have the ability to edit this document or edit this video, which is kind of neat. Right up here at the top, I can crop it. So that first couple minutes, I don't want to show off, me rotating my screen down there, right? Nobody needs a crotch shot at the starting of the video, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit the crop button, and that allows me to trim this video up. Okay? Grab here, grab here. Oh, over to here. Still got the crotch shot. I'm going to move in right there. Okay? So I can trim that video up. Okay? And I say got it. And then there's the save edit button down there. Oh, paid subscription. Oh, you jerks. Well, it's 20 20 pounds to do that. But again, if this is something that you want to do, I can order it as a district. It's only a couple $100. So that built-in editing isn't available right there. So let me jump back. But what is neat is I'll do my presentation, right? And then right here it says Google Drive link. If I click on this link, it says enable sharing, and the link has been copied to your desktop, or copied to your clipboard. So what I can do is go back to my presentation, or whatever I want to add, and I can add this video link in there, and now all my students have a video of me explaining how to do a math problem, how to do something with my document camera right there. So it doesn't record my face while I'm doing it, it records the document camera, me doing. Again, that was a couple of clicks. It's very, very easy to do. It also wants you to, name the screenshot, or name the recording. So it's probably something you want to do as you do it. That way, it'll keep a document of it. So I'll call this test and say close. Now, this also gives me a couple of other options. I can save it to a disk. I can share this out to YouTube, a specific channel. I can make it so only people who have the link can see this document. Let's see right here. Only people who have the link can see this document. So if I'm showing something off out of my textbook, and that is materials that the district has purchased, and I want to say, look, only people at Mechanicsburg can see that documentation, that's how to do that. Okay, so that makes it so the student or teacher has to be logged in. I could also say anyone at Mechanicsburg who has the link. So I could only send it, if I send it to Forrest, Forrest looks at it, and he doesn't share the video, only Forrest can see it. Okay? Now, what's neat about this is there's already a button that says share to classroom here. So what I did was I had to copy that link and share it. But if I hit this one button, it says, okay, I'll share this with your classroom. Just choose which classroom you want to share it with. So there's a pull-down menu, and I want to share this with,
The first one.
was it?
Yes, this is the very first class.
Allow myself to introduce myself. And then it says choose an action. I want to say create an assignment, just make an announcement. And I'm going to go ahead and hit go. And I can say, watch this. Post. And in just a couple of seconds, it was sent out to all my kids. Google has taken the fun out of painstakingly do it the long way. It's now just stupid easy to do. Okay, with just a couple of clicks, record, posted the video, done. All right? So again, the limitations on Screencastify the pros on Screencastify, again, it records anything. You saw those 3 tabs at the top. It says record a tab, which again is just a window. The next one is record your entire desktop. So if you've got a video or a piece of software that we've installed that's not a web page, you can record that. And the last one is record with your document camera. Again, it works on both your desktop and your Chromebook. So awesome solution. The other thing is it saves right to your Google Drive, and with one click you can send it out to any one of your classrooms. That's pretty awesome too.
So could we have the kids plug that into theirs and orally read, and they could listen and watch themselves when they orally read?
They can, but really you don't need, if they're going to be doing this, probably just use the webcam on their own device. Right? Yeah.
There's a video on here already?
There's a webcam on there already. Marlo and I,
Hey.
yeah. Marlo and I have already disciplined kids for inappropriate use of that, so yes, there's a webcam.
Wow, I'm gonna learn about that.
Yeah, so that's the deal with Screencastify. So watch this. If I go back to my Screencastify, and let's say I want to record this again, I'm going to click on this. And it says, I'm just going to record this tab. It says, which video do you want to use? I want to use the integrated camera. So now that uses my integrated webcam, and I'm going to say start recording. And it say, okay, here's my preview down there at the bottom. And you can see right down here in the corner where this is recording. This is recording my screen, and it's recording my video up in the corner. So if I do want to show the kids how to do something, I can still have my face up there in the corner doing that. But when I have that on, that's a pretty small one. So they want to just go to the one that says camera, and it's going to record just their face doing that. So practicing reading, okay? So I can hit stop.
You have to upload, you have to get this app.
Right, so how do you get this app? Under please allow myself to introduce myself, the one right here that says Screencastify, you're just going to click add to your Google account. And it's going to add it right to it. Again, both students and staff can do this. All right? So
if I do want to show the kids how to do something, I can still have.
oh, my video. Yeah. So this is playing. So here's the other cool thing about Screencastify. I can actually write on top of my presentation, right? The best example I can think of this is like the sports comment. I don't know, I'm not big on what sports forest is, but while I'm recording, it's going to give me these tools, and I can actually go through and circle and highlight and mark up my screen as I'm working on it. So it brings you these tools in right off the bat. So in the video, the tutorial, it shows you how to do that. Okay?
It looks like this is more like what Khan Academy is based on, like their videos that they do,
Yes.
like that would be what this really is.
This is, and you can see the difference between this and MoveNote, right? MoveNote is geared more towards speaking, you're running through a presentation, you either want to focus on your webcam or not. I would still use MoveNote to have the kids do their presentation because they're going to focus on how the presentation looks and they can see up in the corner how they're presenting, how well they're doing. So it's still a great application. This is more for the long haul. I'm going to show you how I want to do this. You know, I can plug in my document camera and make this work, so it's a really neat solution. And again, you click that copy link, it dumps it right to your Google Drive. And it's really going to speed up the process.
So like if I was absent, or if I had a kid that was absent today,
Yes.
I could go ahead and everything that I'm doing in my math class, I can go ahead and record it just like that. I did, but I'm limited to 10 minutes.
Mhm.
But, so I could show a problem, I can then link it, and then when the kid returns tomorrow, they can go through and watch this. and
Go
they're-
through in your classroom, yep, and they're caught up. All right? So that is the concept of the flipped classroom. But we're, in this case, using it as, well, they were absent that day. So anyway, that's how that works. So you can see how co-teaching with yourself could actually work. If you've recorded a mini lecture that you're doing, right, you've got it up, and the weirdest thing about presenting and teaching for me is the repetitive nature of it, right? If you're doing the same subject 3 times in a row, you know the first time you did it, you forgot some things. And then the next time, oh, you remembered some things and you added those things. And then the third time you do it, it's the class that just stresses you out a little bit too much. You're kind of rushing through it and you might have forgot some other things. This streamlines that message. So they at least get all the content that you want them to show, but allowing you to differentiate the instruction each block, right? So if you've recorded these little sections, you can go through and as you're playing these links, you can just pause and add to it. Okay, so this is a really neat concept. Now, it's probably going to take up a lot of your plan, you know, going through and recording some of these lessons. So that leads me back to right over here, which is some of the strategies I have. The videos that you're going to be recording, you don't want it to be a one-shot deal, right? So it's only going to be used once. You want to do it so that you're investing your time in it. So if it's a concept that you know you're going to teach every year in multiple classes, whatever, then do that because that's worth your time, okay? The other thing is start off slow. You don't have to make a video every day, okay? You can do this just a little bit of it at a time. Again, the more you make the videos, the faster you are at it, okay? So it's really neat way to do this. I already talked about attention spans. I already talked about making it look skinnier. I have 2 commas right there. I need to fix that. And then if you don't have a wireless presenter right now, what you can do is have student drive. And that's what I've done whenever I do presentations. I have a kid sit up there and drive for me while I talk and while I'm animated doing it. And typically, you know, I make a game out of it or, you know, you rotate, however that works. So, again, the cons, it kind of can be confusing jumping from screen to screen. So the last one, and I've only got a minute left, so this is something that Sarah Walsh-Later talked about, and it's called Snagit. And this is the same concept up here. It's even easier than Screencastify, and I'll show you how it works. You click on the extension after you've installed it, and it doesn't record your video, it records your screen, and you can record your audio. But what's neat about this is you can also record just a region. So if I wanted to say, I'm showing the kids that they need to click up at the top, right here. I want to show them that. And then I can name this image. It says which account do you want me to use. And then I can say, I want you to click right there, right there, right there. And then those images that I've captured, and it works the same with video, I can click this little button down here, and it will grab a shared link, or I can download it, and I can paste it into documents. So it's sort of a screen capture program, but it's also a video capture program. So if you create help documents or anything like that, this is a neat way to do it. And again, there's a YouTube video that walks you through how to do both audio and video to this. Okay? So those were 3 solutions that I showed you. The last thing I'm going to do is ask you to fill out the evaluation. And that is inside the document, right up there at the top, it says session evaluation, and it just asks you a couple of questions. Okay? It is also how I'm taking attendance for this. So if you decide to do anything today, I would do the evaluation.
Where is it again on the thing?
It is, I'll tell you what, I'll send it out in the classroom too.
I'm right here.
It's, please allow myself to introduce myself, right down there it says session evaluation.
Gotcha.
But I will create an announcement. Post that in there. That's the session evaluation. So it just asks you a couple questions, lets me know how else I can help you. And I want to know your ideas. I said, if so, what are you going to use? From what we learned today in the presentation, how are you actually going to use this? Because this is the first time I've presented this session. I've presented bits and pieces of it before, but I have to do it again in 30 minutes, and then I have to do it again at some upcoming Google conferences. So how this works for me is I steal your information and I regurgitate it to other teachers, and that makes Mechanicsburg and myself look good. Okay, so if you have other ideas, I'd love to know them.
We have to choose one, is it, you want to know what, a wish list or what we have?
I want to know what you want me to get you. You get one of those items on the list.
Okay, webcam's what sits up top.
Webcam is what sits on top.
So I could do that from my own computer then?
Correct.
On my desk?
Correct.
I don't have the,
Yeah, a clicker or presenter is what they're actually called. Wireless presenter.
what time is that?
Yep. So the time is up. Thank you very much. I hope you learned something. What's that? A wireless presenter is something that you plug in the back, and as you click through it, it'll go through a slide. It's also like a wireless mouse, right? So as I'm moving around, my mouse can move on the screen. I gave my last one to the superintendent before he left, so.
You won't take away one.
So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get that one back, is what I'm saying. So I don't have it to show
Don't
off
forget to vote on
today,
the
but I do have the other stuff to show off.
If I click the presenter, take away that one.
You know I'm gonna-
Because then I'm gonna go back to look at
You know, they actually made a arm for the webcam, which you put that on, so it turns it into But, I don't know. These are nice too, but they're plastic. So, but the quality, this is equivalent to an iPhone 5S camera. So, yes. Yep, hold on, let me stop my recording.
Cook. Oh.